Rumpelstiltskin. Long ago, in a distant village, lived a miller. He was busy all day, but he loved to tell strange stories to the people coming to his mill. One day, the king happened to pass through this village. He heard the miller telling others about his daughter doing great things. The king summoned the miller and asked about his daughter. "Your Majesty, my daughter is very smart and clever. She knows to spin straw into gold," he said.
"What? That is amazing. Bring her to the palace. I must meet her,"
the king said. The miller got frightened because his lie backfired. He went home and told his daughter the whole incident. She had no choice but to go to the palace. The king took her to a room piled with straw. There was a spinning wheel in the room.
"Now spin all the straw into gold by tomorrow morning. If not, you will die."
The king locked the room and went away. She was all alone. She didn't know what to do. She started crying. "No one can help me. What will I do?" Suddenly, there was a soft voice behind her.
"Did you say no one can help you?"
The girl was frightened. She looked back and saw a small man who looked like an elf.
"Do you need any help?"
he asked. "Yes, I need to spin all the straw into gold by tomorrow morning, or else I will be killed."
"I can do that, but you will have to give me something precious in return. What about that necklace you are wearing?"
The girl thought for a while. Then she agreed because she wanted to get out of the palace somehow. So the elf started working on the spinning wheel. The next day morning, there were pieces of golden thread all over, not a single piece of straw.
"Give me the necklace,"
the elf said. The girl gave him the necklace and he was gone. The next morning the king came and was glad to see the room full of gold. "Let me go now?" the girl said.
"No, I need more. I will send you more straw and see that you convert that to gold by tomorrow morning, or else you die."
The king shut the door and went away. The next night also the elf helped her and took her ring in return. The girl thought that the king would be happy and let her go home, but he wanted even more. She was taken to a bigger room and the same conditions were repeated, but this time the king said,
"My son will be coming to see the room tomorrow morning. If all this is converted into gold, the prince will be marrying you."
She sat in a corner of the room, quite uncertain about the possible end of this drama.
"I am back."
The elf was there. "I knew you would come, but I don't have anything to give you," the girl said in despair.
"Don't worry, we will find a way."
The elf started spinning. "Stop it," the girl shouted. "I don't have anything for you." The elf ignored and continued spinning. By morning, all straw was converted to gold.
"Now I will tell you my price," the elf said. "When you marry the prince and become the queen, I will come to get your firstborn child."
The next morning the prince came and was surprised to see the room full of gold. But he was not like the king. He was a good and kind man.
"I will help you get out of this place. I know the condition my father has kept. You don't have to marry me. You can go home," the prince said.
The girl liked the prince. She knew that he was different from his father. So they both married, and not much later the old king died, leaving the throne to the prince, and the girl became the queen. They were very happy. Days and months passed, and the couple was blessed with a son. One day, when the queen was alone in her room, the elf suddenly appeared and asked,
"Where is my prize? I want your son."
"No, I didn't promise you my son. I will give you all the gold you want," the queen said.
"No, I don't want any gold. I know to make it," said the elf.
"I will give you a palace or anything else you want," the queen was crying.
"I don't need anything else. I'm alone, and no one knows who I am," said the elf.
"I will find out who you are," said the queen.
"I will give you 3 days to find out who I am. If you say my name, you can keep the baby. If not, I will take him. But you must not tell anyone else about this. If you break the promise, the baby will be lost."
The elf disappeared, saying this. The queen wrote a long list of names, and at night the elf came, and the queen started reading out the names. The elf laughed and said,
"No, none of these. I will be back tomorrow."
The queen started looking for names from far-off places. She read out the list the next day. None of them was right. She was worried. The next day was the final day. She couldn't sleep. She took her cap and hood and walked out of the palace. She wanted to go to some quiet place and think of different names. She walked and reached a forest. It was very dark. Far away she saw a fire burning and some sort of music. The queen went near it. To her surprise, she saw the elf dancing and singing around the fire. The queen listened to the song.
"My plans I make, no one can break. Tomorrow the baby I take. The queen will never win the game, for Rumpelstiltskin is my name."
The queen jumped with joy. "Rumpelstiltskin!" The next night the elf came. The queen wanted to trick him and so started with names. "Is it Fairy Daniel? Charles?"
No, the elf was getting impatient. "Don't waste my time. I will give you one last guess," the elf said.
"Is your name Rumpelstiltskin?"
"What? How could you know?"
The elf was so angry. He started beating his head with his hands and ran out of the palace and was never seen again. The king and the queen and their son lived happily ever after.